King Charles and Queen Camilla, starting their entire romance as an affair while Charles was still married to Princess Diana, is honestly the original sin of this marriage. Charles, born November 14, 1948, is now 77 years old. Camilla, born July 17, 1947, is 78 years old. She's actually 2 years older than Charles. Charles and Camilla first met at a polo match at Windsor Great Park around 1970. Then, Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles on July 4, 1973 at the Guards Chapel. Charles married Lady Diana Spencer on July 29, 1981 at St. Paul's Cathedral, with an estimated 750 million people watching globally. But according to biographer Sally Bedell Smith, Charles resumed his affair with Camilla around 1986. Biographer Tina Brown argues the emotional affair actually reignited even earlier, around 1979. So Charles was reportedly emotionally cheating on Diana within months of their wedding. Diana famously said in her 1995 BBC Panorama interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded."
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The whole foundation of Charles and Camilla's love story was reportedly built on years of deception, not exactly a clean romantic origin story. King Charles publicly admitting his affair with Camilla on live television in 1994 is honestly one of the most shocking royal moments in modern history. Charles sat down for a bombshell documentary interview with journalist Jonathan Dimbleby in 1994. During the segment, Charles publicly admitted the years-long affair with Camilla. His framing? He said his relationship with Camilla revived after his marriage to Diana had irretrievably broken down.
Did you try to be faithful and honorable to your wife when you took on the vow of marriage?
Yes.
Basically, Charles was trying to defend the timing, but he flat out admitted the adultery on national television. Then, in January 1993, a much worse scandal broke publicly. An intimate 1989 phone call between Charles and Camilla was leaked and published, quickly dubbed Camillagate by the press. The content was reportedly deeply humiliating. The whole world had been reading a private, extremely personal conversation between them. Camilla was reportedly universally called the most disliked woman in Britain for years afterwards. Charles and Diana officially separated in December 1992, announced by then Prime Minister John Major. They divorced on August 28, 1996. Then Diana tragically passed away in a Paris car crash on August 31, 1997. Charles's public admission of infidelity was reportedly permanently damaging to the royal family's reputation. King Charles running a full-scale PR operation to rehabilitate Camilla's public image is honestly one of the wildest royal manipulation stories ever. After Princess Diana passed away on August 31, 1997, Camilla was reportedly universally hated by the British public. Charles then hired PR strategist Mark Boland, who served as his deputy private secretary from 1997 to 2002. Boland launched what was reportedly nicknamed Operation PB, short for Parker Bowles. The strategic goal? Deliberately rehabilitate Camilla into someone the British public could accept as Charles's wife. Biographer Christopher Anderson said the campaign, quote, 8 years for Charles to finally convince everybody to accept Camilla as his wife. Massive undertaking. Mark Boland reportedly staged the famous Ritz photograph in January 1999 at Camilla's sister's 50th birthday party. That was Charles and Camilla's very first public appearance together after Diana's passing. It was completely calculated. Charles's own approval rating reportedly climbed from a post-Diana low of around 20% up to about 75%. Critics, including Charles's own sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, later accused Mark Boland of leaking damaging stories about the young princes to make Camilla look better. Manipulating public perception through PR is reportedly a major red flag. Prince Harry publicly calling Queen Camilla dangerous and the villain in his 2023 memoir is honestly the biggest ongoing red flag hanging over this marriage. Prince Harry, born September 15, 1984, is now 41 years old. His memoir, Spare, was published on January 10, 2023. In accompanying interviews, Harry directly called Camilla the villain and dangerous. Brutal quotes.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage.
Harry also alleged Camilla systematically leaked stories about the royal family to the press, specifically to rehabilitate her own image during Operation PB. Harry claimed Camilla was willing to sacrifice sacrifice him and Prince William's public standing to make herself look better. Harry also publicly said in Spare that both he and William personally asked their father Charles not to marry Camilla in 2005. Charles ignored them. Now, British outlets have reported that Camilla did not, in fact, leak the specific stories Harry described in the memoir. Buckingham Palace has not officially responded to Harry's accusations, but this is a serious, on-the-record accusation from Charles's own son. Charles's youngest son is publicly accusing his stepmother of being manipulative and dangerous. That kind of family accusation reportedly doesn't just go away. The tension between Camilla and Harry is reportedly still active. King Charles and Queen Camilla, reportedly living in separate residences most of the time, is one of the more unusual details of their marriage. Camilla owns and keeps a private country home called Rain Mill House in Wiltshire, which she bought back in 1994 before she and Charles even married. That's technically Camilla's personal private retreat. Charles primarily uses Highgrove House, his country estate, plus Clarence House in London for royal duties. So Charles and Camilla frequently reside in completely different homes for extended stretches. The Associated Press confirmed on June 25, 2026, that Charles and Camilla will not be making Buckingham Palace their residence after its costly refurbishment. They're staying at Clarence House. Now, royal biographers like Ingrid Seward have publicly framed the separate residence arrangement as actually a healthy, chosen setup, saying they don't live in each other's pockets. One royal insider even reportedly said it's one of the reasons their marriage works. So the separate lives are technically real, but reportedly by mutual design. However, in September 2025, Radar Online ran anonymous sourced claims that Charles and Camilla are divorced in everything but name, living largely separate lives, only for the crown. These claims are unverified. King Charles still being in cancer treatment throughout 2026 is honestly the biggest current pressure on his marriage to Camilla. Buckingham Palace announced Charles's cancer diagnosis on February 5th, 2024. The cancer was discovered incidentally during treatment for a benign enlarged prostate. Palace officials have never publicly disclosed what type of cancer Charles has. The palace only clarified it's not prostate cancer. Then on December 12th, 2025, Charles gave a video message during Channel 4's Stand Up to Cancer program, where he announced his treatment could be reduced in the new year.
I know from my own experience that a cancer diagnosis can feel overwhelming.
The palace framed this as moving into a precautionary phase. A spokesperson said His Majesty has responded exceptionally well to treatment, and his doctors advise that ongoing measures will now move into a precautionary phase. Importantly, remission has never been publicly confirmed. During a York Hospital Cancer Center visit on May 26, 2026, Charles told a stage 4 cancer patient about the disease, "It's everywhere." Sad quote. Veteran royal correspondent Robert Jobson claimed on the Royalist podcast in April 2026 that the December 2025 palace update was overhyped. He said, "I think it was overhyped in December. I think that the palace were overemphasizing the good news. Queen Camilla still being publicly disliked by British people over 20 years into her marriage is honestly proof the Diana affair damage is permanent." Per a YouGov poll published on April 21st, 2026, only 42% of Britons had a positive opinion of Camilla. Meanwhile, 47% held a negative opinion. That 42% positive rating is actually the lowest YouGov has recorded for Camilla since March 2021. Not great trajectory. For comparison, Princess Catherine sits around 75% favorability, and Prince William at 76%. Both dominate Camilla by huge margins. Charles himself has stayed relatively stable, but Camilla is reportedly still divisive. Camilla has been racking up historical distinctions to build her legacy. She became the first female vice admiral of the UK in 2025. Then in March 2026, she became the first female royal member of the exclusive Garrick Club. Charles and Camilla marked their 20-year wedding anniversary in April 2025 with a visit to Pope Francis at the Vatican just 12 days before he passed away. They also made a 4-day U.S. state visit hosted by President Trump from April 27th to 30th, 2026. Charles even addressed a joint meeting of Congress. Public perception remains complicated.